of comments that are coming through. Kelly says, I agree with Luke. You need to keep going. That was in relation to David's quote, once bitten, twice shy. So
sure.
We all are advocating that. So hopefully that gets pushed through on David and then others that are thinking in that way. So we've also got Tony, he says, very true to Sean about perceived as mistakes and then crucial learning experiences, which is really good to see that, you know, people are combining and understanding what each other are saying through the comments here.
Yep.
Says, definitely all those mistakes mostly hurt my ego and self-esteem more than anything, but even stronger knowing that I'm able to build back up from those lows and losses to do better again next time. Absolutely. It's an important one, Sean, to get, you know, build the house bigger. Okay, if it's crumbled, let's start up and build it again. Tony says, no, it's not easy to accept. In the past, I would carry this with me for a length of time, yet now I look at the lesson and move on. Good. So not only learning the lesson, but learning the lesson of how long you actually stay in that dwelling state is a big one, Tony.
Oh, it's massive. And again, you know, I had my journey of transformation back in 2015, for those who followed my journey, you know, 6 years ago. So, you know, going back to something that happened 16 years ago, I didn't fully understand, you know, what it is that I understand today. But like I keep saying, I'm grateful for that experience. And today I have a whole lot of different skills, better skills, strategies, etc., that I can now use for myself to help me move forward. And we've had some horrific things happen to us in 2020, and it hasn't been easy. And I know, Luke, you and I had a few private conversations about these things, but it's enabled me to keep propelling forward. I would have liked at times to propel forward faster, but it didn't happen. But it's about, you know, at least I've been able to get up and propel and keep moving in a forwards direction. And that's the important thing. There's going to be enormous things that happen to all of us. Life is not meant to be easy, you know, and if you don't want to have challenges, then people sit on the couch, right? But it's about get up there, put yourself out there, make mistakes. You're going to face challenges. You're going to face adversity, but the best things in life are on the other side of that. You know, so it's about breaking through those things to get what you truly, truly want, because you've got to work hard for it. So there's a saying which is easy come, easy go. If you get it too easy, it goes too easy. And so it's about going, you've got to work hard for this, right? You've got to work hard. You've got to keep battling away, overcome obstacles, etc., because you've got to demonstrate that you're worthy of that thing that you're chasing. Because again, easy come, easy goes. So it's about, you know, gritting your teeth, keep going, enormous number of mistakes.
Loving those challenges. And I think that's what it's all about, really loving those challenges, really getting into loving the change, loving the challenges. What's the next experience? What can I do more? How can I be better? What kind of mistakes am I going to make that's really going to get me to a higher level of thinking, feeling, actions, all these things, which are really important. We've already spoken about testing and trying. We've already spoken about what you can learn and what you can gain from that. Tony, I want to talk about do you actually absolutely love making mistakes?
No, I don't love it. I don't love making mistakes, but I understand. Sorry, yeah.
Gary Vee does say, what does he say, Tony?
Well, he says so many things, but he loves making mistakes. He loves the losses.
Loves losing.
Yeah, loves the losses. So no, I wouldn't say that I love it. But do I understand the importance of making mistakes? Yes, because it means that I'm having a go at something. But no, I'd be lying to everybody if I sat here and said that I absolutely love making mistakes. But I understand that I've got to make mistakes in order to refine what it is that I'm doing. And I go back to the point that I made earlier. And to me, it all comes down with having commitment to your goal. Your goal, when it's further down the road than where you are, and you are so committed to that goal, then you will do what you need to do. You will go over things, around things, through things. You'll make mistakes, but you'll dust yourself off and keep getting up, because your goal is so important to you. And this is why people fall short of their goal, is because they're not truly committed to achieving their goal. They have a level of interest in that goal. It's like, yeah, it'd be nice to create some success in property or start a business, but I'm not truly committed to doing what's required, and that's why people fall short.
Tony, I guess, when we say I love losing, because I do advocate that idea as well that Gary Vee talks about. It is really about losing in the short term and winning in the long term, right? I guess that's the premise of what we're really talking about. So to deep dive into that, Tony Gallagher's even said, to be honest, I didn't like making mistakes. Having said that, I now appreciate the value, and that's the value for the long term. And this is what I'm talking about. When we say I love losing in the short term to know that I'm going to learn so much and win in the long run. What are your thoughts around that?
No. So I understand where it comes from, and I suppose for me, I to be honest with myself, the word love losing or love making mistakes. No, I don't love it.
Why not, Tony? Why can't you love it? Why can't you love it?
Because I don't.
Let's get deep into the mindset of it now. That we're going not only at the surface, we're going below that surface. We're digging deep and we're trying to find rock.
Oh, there's enormous rock. So I appreciate it, right? So I appreciate it. I understand the importance of it, but I don't love it, Luke. And I would be lying to myself, and I'd be lying to all the viewers if I sat here and said, "Hey, I love making mistakes."
Tony, do you feel right now in this conversation? And I know, like we say at the start, and we promote Luke in the red corner, Tony in the blue corner. Do you feel like I'm getting a couple of points here, a couple of jabs right now? And do you feel like you're almost kind of like losing the battle?
I don't feel I'm losing the battle, no. So I don't feel but I feel that you're asking some good questions. I don't feel I'm losing the battle. I'm simply sharing with you my experiences.
Who's winning then?
Well, it's not about this conversation here. It's not about the win. Hey, I'm sharing with you my experiences. I'm saying to the viewers that I don't love making mistakes, but I absolutely understand the importance of it, and I appreciate making mistakes.
So
I appreciate because
the appreciation of making mistakes.
I appreciate making mistakes, Luke.
Sean says definitely all those mistakes hurt. Mostly, I read that already. Also, he says definitely not easy, but worth learning the lesson, which Tony was talking about before as well. To be honest, I don't like making mistakes, having that value. Yeah, there's a lot of value components in there. And then Sean's agreeing with Tony's comments 100%. So Johnny, good to have you on as well. Like plenty of people come on today, plenty of comments around the power of making mistakes. I feel like I've challenged Tony even into the making mistakes side of things. And, I'm getting a head shake there. Tony, tell me more.
That's fine. So it's just I don't love it. I appreciate it. And to me, there's a difference. There's a difference between love. So I love ice cream, and I appreciate other desserts. So I don't see loving making mistakes when I compare that.
But your love of ice cream doesn't really serve you too well, does it?
It serves me incredibly well, Luke. It serves me incredibly well. So it depends which perspective. If you're talking about my waistline, no, it doesn't serve me well.
Well,
if
that's it serves you well in comfort and in joy,
taste buds. Correct.
Celebration when you achieve some things, Tony, like you always say. Then on the other side, you have to take that whole bucket of ice cream and you eat all that salted caramel. And then you have a big day today on the eating in Easter, and there's no running action. There's no 10K, 15, 20K runs today. Not looking too good, Tony Meredith. What are you thinking?
I'm thinking that I'm looking forward to today. I'm looking forward
You know what? This is so good. And Sean's having a good laugh. Kelly says, good guys. Luke and Tony, you're both very entertaining. I like the challenges that I bring out in Tony, and he never cracks as well. This is the power, actually. This is kind of like, in life, you're going to get these challenging situations where I've brought up with Tony, right? And I don't know how I can see on his face and the body language that it has that it's not the greatest thing to experience for him right now, because it is a challenge, right? It is a change of mindset that he's thinking about that I'm challenging him on. It doesn't mean I'm right or wrong in the questioning that I'm saying. It's what it really reflects on you. So if you can take anything away about the banter that Tony and I are going on about today, is it's that kind of questioning, that opinions, that judgment that you will get in life from family, friends, the community, colleagues, whoever it might be. This is what's important. So if you can challenge yourself in that aspect of seeing what Tony went through my questioning, it actually might be very powerful for you to say, sit with those thoughts. How would I feel if someone like Luke did actually challenge me? Tony?
Oh, I agree, because this is the reason that people don't go and make mistakes, because they don't do anything. They sit on the couch, they have perfectionistic thinking, or they're concerned about what other people are going to say. Now, if I was truly concerned about what other people were going to say, then I wouldn't be going to do these Facebook Lives, for example. You wouldn't go and put yourself out there. I remember when I first started, people saying, what the hell's going on? Why are you doing this sort of stuff for? But here we are. If I was concerned about what other people are going to say, I wouldn't have given up drinking over 4 years ago. If I was concerned what other people say, I wouldn't have quit my job. You know what I mean? So for me, yes, I have a huge amount of mental strength with these sorts of things, but it hasn't always been the case for me either. So it's important to note that, if I go back 10 years ago, then I was all about wanting to get the opinion and the approval from other people. That's how I live my life. And I look back now in absolute disgust at the way in which I live my life, but nonetheless, that's me, that's my story, and that's who I am. And so over time, I've done certain things to help build my own mental resolve. And as I've said here many, many times, probably one of the single biggest things that I did to improve my mental strength was give up drinking. And I've got nothing against people who drink. I don't want to come across as being a reformed, drinker, but to go into different functions and events and parties and whatnot, and to not drink, and try it for a week, a fortnight, a month. Try it and see how you go, and you'll start to see things very, very different. As I said, for me, it's been well over 4 years now.
Tony, I've got a question for you.
Yeah, please. Yep.
Was it harder to give up drinking or harder to face my questions?
No, your questions aren't hard, Luke. Your questions aren't hard. Giving up drinking was very hard. It was very, very hard. So yes, but it was very hard. Not so much because I wanted to give up drinking. That wasn't the hard bit. The hard bit was the criticism from other people. That was the bit. That was honestly the bit. And drinking in Australia, the culture around that, it is what it is, right? And so when you go to functions and you don't drink, and I'm sure we've all gone through where maybe you were the designated driver, or you decided to have a dry July, or whatever it is. And I'm sure a lot of us can relate to the fact that when you go to a function you're not drinking, just the banter and the criticism that comes back your way because you're choosing not to have a beer or two, it's fascinating. And as I said, that there is one of the biggest things that I did from a mental resolve. There's been so many others. My weight loss journey back in 2015, that was enormous, mental resolve to be able to do that, what I did in 12 weeks and so on and so forth. So, no, so your questions are fine, mate. They're good questions. And it's important for people to see that, we don't sit here and just, always agree with each other. Not that there's massive disagreement. It's just more just a play on words, to be honest. I agree with the importance of mistakes. Don't get me wrong. It's important to make mistakes because you're doing stuff. If you're not making mistakes, then I'll guarantee you're actually doing zero. You're probably sitting on the couch watching Netflix. So when you're making mistakes, you're out there having a go. It's more just a play on words between love and appreciate and like making mistakes.
We love it. We love the terminology and the perception of words and how they filter through, and what one meaning of one word means to someone, and then words mean something different to someone else. And that's what Tony and I have reflected on this morning. Sean says people still don't understand us because we don't drink either. And Sean Hayes has come on as well. Normally watching the replay, Sean Hayes, but he's come on live today. And we have been talking about the power. Is there power in making mistakes? And thinking about what are you testing and trying in your life? What can you learn and what can you gain out of mistakes? And then do you love making mistakes? And Tony and I spent a bit of questioning time and really yeah, I guess challenging questions time to think about that a little bit further and really explore that. And it might not, you might see my side of it, or you might see Tony's side of it. And whatever is the reflection for you is important. And just to understand how you can actually be better for yourself through this experience of thinking about the mistakes you aren't making or you are making. So if you aren't making mistakes, is there actually something wrong?
What I would say as a minimum to everybody is you don't have to go and love making mistakes, but you certainly need to be open to making mistakes. Because if you're not open to making mistakes, then you're not doing anything, as I keep saying. Now, again, this is not about, none of us go around wanting to lose, $500,000 or whatever it is like that. There are big mistakes. There are little mistakes. There is plenty of learning to be had. For those bigger decisions, yes, you need to mitigate your risk. This is not just, Luke's created a business. He just doesn't go on, that'll do, let's buy that property. There's a lot of science that goes into certain things. So there's, you want to mitigate your risks, right? But at some stage, you also have to put your left foot in front of your right, right? And in the game of wealth creation, which is the game that Luke plays in, and I do as well, you've got to take that step. That step, it's scary. I shared with my experience earlier when I signed my property development deal back in 2016. I was absolutely shitting myself. We'll edit that out, right? But I was so scared, right? And it happens, right? But you've got to be able to push through that, because what you truly, truly want is on the other side. And again, for me, it comes back to your goal, right? And how committed you are to your goal versus are you interested? Are you just kidding yourself? Are you consciously saying, yeah, I'm committed to my goal, but subconsciously, not really. And that, to me, is the essence of it all. So when you're truly committed to something, you'll do certain things, and along the way, you're going to make mistakes, but you're going to learn a lot from making those mistakes.
Great session today, Tony Meredith, on the Sunday Mindset session. Back to the 8 o'clock for the Eastern States, as we are now have clocked over to back to Australian Standard Time.
That's it.
And Australian Eastern Standard Time.
Eastern Standard Time. Yep, that's it.
Standard Time. And happy Easter to everyone. Hopefully you enjoy your day, spend it with family, friends, and eat those chocolates. Maybe pull back on the ice cream, Tony, would be my advice for today. If you're going to devour all those chocolates,
nope.
He's going to be chocolate and ice cream time for
no. I'll be comatose with sugar a bit later on today, but that's okay. So, but look, have a wonderful day, everybody. Thank you so much for tuning in, and enjoy time with your family and friends. Take care.
All right, bye for now. See
ya. Bye.